Kia ora everyone. So after a red day yesterday, I really wanted to focus on A quality stocks and A quality setups and get in the green on my first trade and lock up a green day. Really important to lock up a green day after a red day. I don't want to get in any sort of emotional spiral of having red days and getting triggered and then trading myself, into the red even further. So today when I woke up around 6:45 a.m, the only stock that I saw there that was tradable for me was SNOA. My stock criteria is stocks priced between $2 and $20, a low float. So SNOA's float was around 5 million, up on the scanner over 10%, and has some sort of catalyst, so breaking news or breaking news the previous day, which SNOA had. So looked at that stock. It had come up from the lows of what was that, around 320s I think, and it pushed up through VWAP and was around $3.70. So I didn't take the trade there. It was pulling back from $3.70 and I was still getting ready for the day, so not quite ready to take that first trade, and I missed that first leg. Broke through 370, pushed up to around 420, and that's where I took my first entry on the day for my first trade. So let's have a look at that. I'll bring up my charts here. Actually, I'll bring up the clip. So this was when I first sat down. Actually, I was having a look at the stock here and I thought about jumping in there, but I was a bit late. It broke through and it's pushing up through 370. I'll just jump forward a bit here. Yeah. So there it is, breaks up through that pivot point around 380 and breaks up to 420, 426. So I decided to place an order here at a pullback. It's hit some resistance. I put an order in at $4.13, hoping it would pull back to there, but then realised it's probably a little bit too low. Waiting for it to pull back sort of a bit more properly, and here it goes, pulling back again. I'm actually trying to get in at 413, but I'm not going to get filled down there. Looking at the level 2 and thought, oh, I'll put it in at 416, and as it pulls back I get filled on the second candle there, and as soon as I get filled it starts pushing, breaks through the high there and then pushes up to hitting some resistance there, pulling back, but it's only light selling there, and then a lot of green on the tape, pushing, and then I take that off the table there, 34 cents. So decent trade, good entry, good exit, and really probably should be looking at getting back in here. I actually am trying to get back in here. I'm pushing my key that just buys above the ask. But for some reason it was saying there was no quantity entered and the hotkey wasn't working, so I missed that trade there. I then manually put in the price and yeah, I got filled there, pushed up. So this is my second trade. This one here, because I missed the early entry and the push higher up to 470, really the entry here was probably a bit premature. I should have waited a little bit maybe for it to pull back. Also, it wasn't looking very strong now. I felt that it was looking a bit weaker. It's pulling back further. I'm a bit worried now it's starting to look like it's going to break down and pull all the way back. So whether it was right or wrong, I decided that I would just get out of this trade. So it actually rallied, and I think it was soon that I thought, nah, it's done. Yeah. So there I thought, no, there's a doji there, and it looks like it's pulling back. It's not pulling away, so I just decided to get out of that trade. So my second trade was a loss, I think 8 cents a share, so that's fine. That's not that bad. And then I decided to put an order in down the bottom here at the low, see if I get filled. But I missed this trade entirely, where it pushes back to the highs of 470. So missed that trade. But still doesn't really break higher. So actually I'll skip past this. This is me fixing my hotkey. Yep. So the next trade I take, I do get filled down here at the low, at that support level. It pushes back up, but didn't look like it was going to push back through. So I took an early exit on that one as well. Yeah, so that one there was, what was that? 6 cents a share, $4.46 to $4.52. Not a great trade on that one, but yeah. Where's the video? Here it is. So, and then it starts pulling back, and you know, looks pretty weak here. Big massive red candle on the volume. That's not great. So it's, yeah, not looking good there. Keeps pulling back. Yeah. And then I thought, nah, well, that move's pretty much over. So didn't trade it anymore from that point on for a while. This is my second one. It rallies again. I get back in on the pullback here, but probably should have waited, as from here it looks like it's probably going to steer step down, which it does. It pulls all the way back here. I hold through that. It rallies again, and I take my profit up the top here where it hits some resistance. Kind of hoped it was going to push higher and carry on up, you know, push up and break back through the high, but just didn't have the volume anymore, and it sort of pulled back down. So yeah. And my last trade on it was a little bit later on, actually. Yeah, here. It had pulled back through VWAP. It was coming back and breaking through. So I bought into the X, it had broken through VWAP. Bought as it pulled back. And really, I should have been out on this candle here at the high up here at 428. So this is playing in 10 speed, so it's quite fast, but yeah, I should have been out up here at 428, 427, and then because it's going to come back and retest the VWAP level, pulls back, you know, in this increasing volume here. So when I bought, there's a big red candle actually, but volume came back in on the green side, and it pushed above VWAP. But should have really sold at the high of these candles here. A bit late with putting a pre-order in there at that level, but pulls back, retests VWAP, and then pushes back up. Pushes back up here, and I get filled out at my my price target. So that was my last trade. That one there was 16 cents. So a good base hit on that one. That took me up on the day to $110 in profit. So good green day, pretty strong. Trades, only the one loss, so really happy with how I traded last night. I had an 80% accuracy. 80% accuracy. 4 out of 5 trades were green. A risk-reward ratio of 1.95, which really good. Average winner of $30, average loss of $16. So really good to have that risk-reward ratio come up, as I've been struggling with that for a bit. So that's good. That gets me back above in the green for the week. Yesterday I was down around $93, $94. So just back in the green. And hopefully I can add to that tomorrow. Yeah, so happy with that. That's really good. So I think, today was more about being careful on my trades and not just jumping on anything that moved. At the open, I just sat on the sidelines basically and watched. There were a couple of stocks that I like the look of, but were high risk stocks really. One was HSAI, I think it was. And I'll have a look, see if I can find that stock. I saw this stock when it popped up to about $18.30, and I was looking at that stock around that level here when it popped up, around here, and had news, and I thought, I'll see how this goes. I didn't want to trade it straight away. I thought, well, let's see what it does at the open. I didn't want to be holding a position into the open. And look at what this thing did. Pulls away at the open. Really quite strong at the open, pushes higher up to 1940, pulls back here, and I really thought about jumping in here when it started pulling back and trying to get a dip, looked at trying to get a dip trade down here. But then I thought, no, it's too risky. I'm up $110. I've got myself back in the green on the week, and I just thought it's a high risk stock. I could lose my entire profit for the day in one trade. So I sat on the sidelines and watched this thing push up to $20. It went into consolidation here, and there were lots of little dip trades that I could have got in. 1970 pushing back up to $20, $11, $20, $10. So there was, good little dip trades in here as well, and then it broke up to $22, $20 all the way up to 22, pulled back again, big pull back down to 21, 31, 32, and then pushed again, and then again. So ended up making a massive move up to $22.90, sort of in the first, first 40 minutes, first hour of the open. Yeah, I don't think SNOA did as well. SNOA sort of made a small move at the open. Yeah, that's right. I sort of had this on another chart as well. It opened and pushed back up to that pivot point there, couldn't break it, and then basically it faded over the rest of the day. So yeah, that was it for SNOA. Was there any other stocks that in the morning? MLGO? I think that was another one that popped up as well. Yeah, so I saw this as well coming up on the scanner, and I took notice of it here as it pushed from $4 up to about $4.27, and was looking at pushing up to the VWAP. Once again, this was where I probably normally, if I was being more aggressive, would take a trade here on this pullback, looking for the breakthrough VWAP and then a push higher. And it did exactly that. It, pulled back on here, bit of consolidation, then came up, broke through VWAP, and then just pushed higher. And that would have been a good trade in through here from, what's that, 430, somewhere around there, 430 up to, 460, somewhere up in this range here, 470, 479. Yeah. So, but then at the open, did push a little bit back, but then faded down through VWAP, and yeah, wasn't going to trade that. Yeah, so that was pretty much it for the stocks that I sort of wanted to look, what I thought I might have traded yesterday, but I only traded SNOA in the end. Really stayed focused on my staying green and just protecting my profit for the day, making sure that I was going to have a green day. And once I was in that zone of recovering the loss from yesterday, I didn't want to push it. So that's where I ended up on the day, $110 in profit, wiped out my red day from yesterday, which feels great. Now I'm green on the week and looking to extend that tomorrow. But we'll see, hopefully the market plays ball and gives me some good stocks to trade. So until then, I'll see you tomorrow. Hea pōpō. Don't forget, like and subscribe, leave a comment, and I'm out.